McFoley, Detroit Mercy, and Mark Hughes, 6'4" guard out of Wright State, repping the Raiders. As we get this one on and popping once again.
Damon Huffman, Dan McBrady's looking on as proud Ivy League alumni right now, very nervous in the front row, hoping that their team can advance to Sunday.
Yeah, Huffman out of Brown and McBrady's out of Princeton.
Standing and cheering wildly for the first basket.
Here's your Pool F standings. Still some things to be decided, obviously, outside of the Big Ten being locked in. So the Horizon with a win in this game will force a three-way tie. And again, how do you break a three-way tie, Robbie? What's the
point spread?
Of course. Point spread. So,
nice jump line.
Again, we'll see. The score as it stands now is 2-0.
Well, Sandy Cohen is a tough guard. Gets to the rim really whenever he wants, but has had issues in this tournament converting just like there.
Yeah, he's wiry, long, pretty good defender, man, really.
He's got a lot of ability. He initially went to Marquette, transferred back to Green Bay, where he is from, and great size, great body. One of those guys that just looks like a pro basketball player.
No doubt, ranked second in among Horizon League seniors in scoring this year. 17 per game, 58 games at Green Bay.
Tough shot. You've seen Obi Okoli take tough shot after tough shot and really struggle in this tournament.
Yeah, and Okoli was one of our camera guys earlier. Holding it down, joining the broadcast. Appreciate him for that. Hard to
doing it pro bono.
Yeah, doing it pro bono. He didn't ask to be paid like Ethan.
Like Ethan, yeah. And you get paid in one event, and all of a sudden you think you should be paid for everything.
And these former college guys are spoiled, man. They start getting a little money out here, and then they expect to get money for everything.
Gotta make up for lost time. And how about the roll right here, touching the whole rim? Well, that thing fell in.
The rim is kind sometimes.
The iron kind.
Okay, that would have been double tipped. But the Ivy League controlling their own destiny. With a win, they are in. Obviously with the Big Sky with 2 losses already. And the Horizon League coming in 0-2. The loss to the Big Sky and the Big Ten. Their only hope is to get a dub and get some help. All right, 2 minutes in, just about. Horizon with a 1-point advantage here in the early goings. McFoley's got that offer release.
Unorthodox, but it's been effective.
Yeah.
He got space there and got a great look.
He was shooting it, even in a couple of losses. He was shooting it pretty well. It was one of the lone bright spots. Morgan, hand up. So what? Cole in the third. He's on the move like the lease is up. He kicks it out. Good look.
Man, great ball movement. Drew McDonald getting a quality look for a 39% three-point shooter on the season.
Stevens missed the lefty lay-in. Now he's going to try to stay in front of Cohen. Oh, good idea.
Yes. Again, execution a little bit lacking. Need a little more on that pass.
Oh. Morgan. Meantime, gonna let the boys in the Dos Equis Lounge get in on this one. Tate's got a special guest over there. Who have you brought in, Tate?
Hey, what's going on, Kyle? Yeah, we're sitting over here in the Dos Equis Lounge, and we are joined by none other than 2016 national champion. 2017 was the North Carolina Tar Heels, a team that you beat in the 2016 national championship when Chris Jenkins hit the shot. Mr. Daryl Reynolds, a man that was with Villanova this year, and a man that's here celebrating the Final Four. How you doing, Daryl?
Doing good, man. Doing good, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on here. It's interesting to see it from this perspective. Like to see everything that goes into the Final Four, obviously outside of playing. So thank you.
You were saying the last time that you were in the Final Four in 2016, you guys were kind of holed up in the hotel with Coach Wright and the rest of the players.
Yeah.
So you didn't see all the festivities and things things that were going on. So how alarming is it to see a full Final Four from this perspective?
It's crazy. I did not. I knew it was a huge deal, but I did not know this much actually went into it. It's crazy. I mean, it's great for the fans. I see why everybody and their mother converges on this place. But no. It's definitely nice to see.
How much 3-on-3 basketball in general have you watched? I know you were here yesterday. You came up and were talking to us about the game and the whole setup and everything. But how different is it? And someone that's 6'9" like you, I mean, you would be perfect for this, right?
I would. It looks fun. I like it. It's a different, it's a different feel for the game. It's obviously not as structured, but that allows it to be a little more loose. I like it. It's like watching pickup. So it's real dope.
It's basically Villanova basketball. What Jay Wright has done at Villanova is spread the floor, shoot the threes. I feel like I'm watching Villanova out there.
A little less structured, but yeah. But on the same type time, like I said, I love how it's just moving back and forth. I gotta be honest, I'm not even familiar with all of the rules. Can y'all walk me through them real quick? Anything that's glaringly different?
Well, we're 1s and 2s.
Okay.
So that's a little different, right? So the 3 is a 2. So that's probably the main thing. And then on a made basket on a free throw, I think that's the craziest thing, right?
They get it right out.
Get it out right. You don't have to take it out of bounds.
So teams will run plays to get an easy basket. With one guy leaks out for a 3 or a 2-pointer on a free throw. So that's something that's, I guess, unique to the game. Okay. And then obviously it's a 10-minute sprint. So we're up to 21, or we just saw with the Big Ten. Once we get 10 minutes and it's over, it doesn't matter what the score is. Whoever wins, if it's 19, 18, whatever it is.
Okay.
So that's interesting.
All right. So I got to ask, who are y'all rooting for?
Well, as I told you, I went to North Carolina, so I got a little bit of ACC bias, even though there's no North Carolina player here. So I guess I'm not a big conference pride guy.
Okay.
Speaking of conferences, though, Mark Titus said this to me earlier. When is Villanova going to let someone else win the Big East?
Now they didn't win it last year, right?
We did win the regular season.
Yeah.
Won the tournament. We did win the regular season. Xavier won the regular season. You know what I'm going to say. I was about to say that's not something I really want to give up.
That's not your problem, man.
Yeah, exactly. But the conference is getting more competitive. This year I think it was like 3 or 4 teams that were in the middle of the pack, at like 9-9. It's really turning into one of those conferences that anybody can beat anybody. Georgetown is a school that's on the rise. With Patrick Ewing taking over and kind of implementing his philosophy. St. John's with Chris Mullen is coming up. So every school is getting better and better. And this year was really one of you look at Marquette. Marquette was top 10 for most of the year. And then at the end of the year, they kind of had some struggles, and that's why ultimately we were able to win, because they were a few games ahead of us. So
let me ask you this: is Coach Wright worried that if Tony Bennett wins the national championship, that his throne as the most handsome, most respected coach, he's going to get knocked off his throne there? Is this a concern, you think?
Nah, I think between Coach Wright and Tony Bennett, there's so much respect because of their
handsomeness. How handsome they are.
I was about to say, yes, their ability to dress down to the team. But no, I think those guys have respect, and I'm pretty sure if Coach wanted anybody to win, guys that really play defense. Virginia does that better than anybody.
A team like Virginia, we should point out, we talk about this all the time, the old Big East.
Yes.
And the physicality and the stories that go into it. You talked about Mullen, you talked about Ewing, now they're coaches, but obviously played back in the old Big East. How much have you heard just being at Villanova about the Massimino era and some of the old stories of the old Big East?
Man. So when the old heads come back, I don't know if y'all say that out here. When the old heads come back, that's like the first thing we get slapped for. Like, oh man, what y'all talking about? Y'all ain't playing the old Big East. Like Randy Foye came back, he's like, y'all don't know the half
Randy
of it.
Foye played in like 2006.
Yeah, but they're saying, they was like, y'all don't know what it's like to go up to Syracuse, and it's just like, you gotta stand. We don't know what it's like to have a game.
That's what you say. You don't know what it's like to win a national championship.
Yeah, no. It's my old head, so I can't get too. I just be like, you're right. In the back of my mind, I'm like, whatever. But it's still nice. It's still nice. I think it was a little more physical back. I think the game entirely was more physical back then. So it's a different game.
And speaking of the Final Four in general, you're here to watch the games of the Final Four like the rest of most people here that aren't necessarily tuned in all things 3-on-3. But what team have you seen throughout this year that is in this Final Four that you think can make a run? Obviously, we mentioned Virginia earlier. Is that who you think is the favorite going into this?
I got to go with Virginia. There's a lot to be said for what they've done over the past couple of years. They really buy into their culture, and obviously they've lost a lot over these past couple of years. But you have to have respect for them to just keep going. A season like last year, the way that ended, that would have broke a lot of programs. So the fact these guys are back in the Final Four this year is huge.
And there's a little bit of history there with you in Virginia. We remember the DiVincenzo tip-in when you guys played a couple years back. So a little back and forth there. And I do want to point out, you're doing media stuff in Philadelphia.
Yes,
so
sir.
Doing a little podcast and all that sort of stuff.
Yes,
so.
sir. I got my podcast, Stay Tuned with D-Ray. I had Josh on there. I had Mikkel on there. I got Brian Westbrook coming up from a former Philadelphia Eagles and Villanova guy. It's not just Villanova people. The concept of the show is kind of telling the story, kind of behind the story. I always pitched it as, I had Chris on the studio show, and I didn't ask him about the shot. I guess that's the best way I can put it. That was the last thing I wanted to know. Everybody heard about the shot. So just kind of getting the story behind the story and doing that. Recently started a show for the Sixers called Uncontested with D-Ray and Eitan. My co-host Eitan Shander. It's a huge help. So I'm trying to get into the media side of things.
We appreciate having you, man. We had Greg Oden on set, first ever #1 pick we have on set. We now have our first ever national champion on set. So you're helping us make history, man. We appreciate it.
My man, thank you. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that, fellas. Good stuff. Yeah, your NCAA champ with Villanova, Daryl Reynolds, over the Dos Equis Lounge. Anytime, what a game that we've been seeing
starting
over
to
here.
wake up.
Oh my goodness, it is 16-15 and a must-winner for the Horizon League to prevent the Ivy League from locking down that
Nice take.
#2 spot in Pool F.
And Sandy Cohen completely off balance right there. Couldn't even contest the shot. Matt Morgan, a true scorer.
16 apiece. We're under 2 minutes to play. Stevens doing his dance, working on Cohen. He couldn't get the layup to go. McFoley, you don't want to leave him open.
It's unorthodox, but it is effective. Side spin right there. The Horizon has made 7 twos. Kept them in this game. Got them right back in it.
Both teams doubling up.
3-point game now. First to 3. We'll take this thing home.
Oh, McFoley again. He is wet. Don't go chasing waterfalls. 2018.
Need a stop and a bucket for the Horizon. No, they don't get the stop. They can still get the bucket, though, and win the game.
The Horizon, game point. They can force a 3-way tie, and then we'll have to start doing some math. Here in Pool F.
Wow.
Under a minute to play.
They got a better shot than that.
So Ivy League will be likely gunning for a 2-piece.
They got to get a stop first.
Yeah, if they get the rock back.
We have seen Josh McFoley make big-time shots down the stretch here, but I'd have to think here, Sandy Cohen, probably the best isolation player on the Horizon League team.
Yeah.
Expect to see him get some sort of clear out and go to work.
Foley out of Detroit Mercy, 233 triple dips, third in the record books for Detroit Mercy. And again, another look at the standings.
Oh, great action.
Nice play. The
deserved to
grip
go.
was missed. McFoley shoots.
What a rebound.
And he scores.
You talk about execution.
Yeah.